Have you ever wondered if a high-protein diet really harms your kidneys? In the realm of the internet, there's a widespread belief that consuming too much protein can damage your kidneys. But is this true? In this video, we delve deep into the truth behind the relationship between a high-protein diet and kidney health. If you care about your well-being, especially concerning kidney health, then this is a video you can't afford to miss. In fact, the truth we'll unveil in this video might surprise you. Even kidney specialists don't know everything about kidney health, particularly about kidney failure. We'll provide you with the most accurate and scientific information that you can't find anywhere else to help you make informed decisions about your health. And you know what? By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of the state of your kidney health and the necessary measures to protect them. So let's get started right now. For decades, many, including nephrologists, have suggested that we should adopt a low-protein diet to optimize kidney function. They also claim that if you intake too much protein, it will harm your kidneys, it will cause kidney failure, it will make existing kidney failure worse. Let's discuss those concepts, that myth, and that big medical lie in this video. Now, this stems from recommendations for individuals with kidney disease to consume low protein. The reason for this is that protein contains nitrogen. The amino acids you consume in protein contain nitrogen, especially the ammonium group on them. That ammonium group, when removed from the carbon backbone, has to be excreted through the kidneys via urea secretion. Now, I know ammonia sounds scary, but it's not like your body lets ammonia float around in your blood. That's not how it works. It gets converted into urea, which is harmless and excreted through urine. But the idea is that if you eat a lot of protein, you'll have more urea to excrete. The kidneys will have a harder time. So, they put forth this hypothesis decades ago, perhaps over 50 years ago. Unfortunately, many health experts regarded it as a plausible hypothesis at that time, then applied it to healthy individuals, saying, well, if you want to avoid kidney disease, you should consume less protein. Nowadays, we have conducted hundreds of studies and found very little or no evidence that a high-protein diet is harmful to healthy kidneys. A recent study, a new meta-analysis from Stu Phillips' laboratory, addressed this issue. They examined over 100 studies and looked at high-protein and low-protein intakes. High protein was defined as 1.5 grams per kilogram or total protein intake over 100 grams per day, while low protein was defined as less than 5% of total daily calorie intake from protein. I believe that's really low compared to high, just right. And they were looking for changes in GFR. GFR stands for glomerular filtration rate. So, GFR is an indicator of how well the kidneys are functioning. So, they extracted studies that met their criteria. And I believe that after the exclusion criteria, they were left with a total of 1,358 subjects. What they found was no difference in GFR changes between the low-protein group and the high-protein group. And their conclusion is that apparently higher protein intake does not have a negative impact on the kidneys in healthy individuals. As mentioned, there are also some studies in individuals with kidney disease. For example, there is now a study at the University of Illinois where they provide, I believe it's 25 grams of whey protein per day to individuals with stage 3 kidney disease. I think so. And they found that the group not receiving protein did not fare better than the protein receiving group. And one of the issues is, especially with kidney diseases, you may be wasting away, and you also need to repair those damaged tissues. So, having too little protein can actually hinder that, as opposed to having a small amount of very high-quality protein source. There have been some very poorly conducted studies over the years, in fact, from many decades ago, that seem to suggest this, but there have actually been great studies that completely refute this misconception, even in individuals with advanced stages of chronic kidney disease. Eating protein has no harmful effect on your kidneys. Protein does not harm your kidneys. Say it with me, protein is not bad for your kidneys. Okay, that's a myth. That's not true. Anyone who claims that consuming too much protein is not good, that too much protein is bad for the kidneys, you can immediately dismiss because they are not a reliable source of health and nutrition information. They are also far behind in reading, still believing in sugar-coated tales on the internet, and basically, they don't know what they're talking about. I will link 3 studies below that clearly show that even a high-protein diet does not harm your kidneys. Now, the ketogenic diet recommended for most people is a diet rich in fat, moderate in protein, and very low in carbohydrates. I've noticed this more and more. Some tests you might have heard of are BUN levels, which is the blood urea nitrogen level. You'll hear about creatinine levels, not creatine but creatinine levels, and you'll hear about GFR or glomerular filtration rate. That's what you'll hear about. Alright, now urea levels, really, many times, if your BUN or blood urea nitrogen level is elevated, many patients who don't know better and many doctors who should know better would think that's a sign of kidney damage. But it's not. All that means is you're just eating a lot of protein. If you eat a lot of protein, it might raise your BUN. That's not a sign of kidney damage. It means you've just had a lot and you have more urea in your blood. Urea is just a breakdown product when you eat protein, which is broken down into amino acids. Part of the long-term cycle of that is you have an increased level of urea in your bloodstream. Not a sign of kidney damage. If your creatinine level is high, even by 1/10 of a point, you've got kidney damage. You at least have stage 1 chronic kidney disease not caused by protein, my friend, I promise. If your glomerular filtration rate is low, then you've got a problem somewhere, and you need to talk to your doctor about that. So what damages kidneys if it's not protein? Because we all thought it was protein, right? What damages kidneys? That's because people have been eating a lot of processed carbohydrates, and that is what destroys your kidney function. So cut back on the carbs and stop worrying about protein. I will link 3 studies in the show notes below, and I want you to check them out, and just remember, if anyone says, "Oh, that's too much protein, it might harm your kidneys," they are no longer a reliable source of health and nutrition information for you. Back to the protein issue. How much protein do you need for your body? Reputable health organizations like the American Society of Nephrology, the American Endocrine Society, and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics often give recommendations for appropriate protein intake for kidney patients, usually ranging from 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For example, if you weigh 60 kilograms, your daily protein intake should be between 36 and 48 grams. For red meat, 1 slice can provide about 6 grams of protein, so you need to consume between 6 and 8 slices of red meat per day to ensure an adequate protein supply for your body. However, this may vary depending on health status and physicians' recommendations. Alright, so if you liked this video and would like to hear more videos like this, please consider subscribing to this channel and clicking the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way, every time I release a new video, you'll be one of the first to know. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.